Welcome, everybody. As you can see, Maddie's already laughing. We're here. We've been having a great conversation. So welcome to the conversation. This is not the start of it. You guys are kind of eavesdropping now on this week's What If. And this week's What If, it's going to be a good question. I have a wonderful guest here with me. We connected in comments and finally got her over here on this hangout. She's 5 hours in the future. I like saying future. She's 5 hours in the future. You're over in where exactly, Maddie? Where?
In London.
In London. She's over in London, everybody. We apologize for the slight delay that may be. You know, Wi-Fi is sometimes dependable. Sometimes it isn't. I don't understand technology these days. I don't get it. Right? We can go to space. We can jump from space. We can't seem to have a reliable connection in our homes. I don't get it. But hey, right, we're here. We're having fun. We've been talking about each other's businesses, and we're getting ready to talk about this what if. But before we get into the what if, because some of you may not have discovered her channel yet, Good Morning Mathy, and she also has a website called whatthejobisthis.com. I had to mention that because I think I asked her about it earlier. I should have asked you what kind of mood you were in when you came up with that name. But whatthejobisthis.com. Mathy, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your channel, about your business, about your website, so that way these people can be informed about what you do.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Hi, all the way from London. So my name is Mathy, as you know, and my website is called whatthejobisthis.com. The whole story started a few years ago when I was at a crossroads, and the crossroad moment was my father had cancer, stage 4, and I was about to lose my job, and I had previously lost my mom. So I'd always wanted to do something for myself, write a book, you know, do things that really mattered and embrace my calling. So I started a website called What the Job Is This to just write about what in the world was I going to do next with my life now that I was at this crossroads. And it just started as just a place for me to talk about my transition. It was nothing special. It was nothing great. Needed something to do to keep my mind focused from stressing out and losing my mind, and it was kind of more anything, otherwise I'd gone crazy. So it was just that, and I wanted to connect with other people who were in that kind of frame. So now it's transformed a lot because my background is recruitment, career advice, and coaching, and now I focus on helping creatives embrace who they are in life. And I just happen to work with for a millennial who want to change career or transition from their 9 to 5 or something they don't really like, where they're not maybe are used completely creatively. So that's what it's all about.
All right. Okay. Good. And that's why I think this week's question is so relevant, because essentially it's what if everything kind of hit the fan, right? And that's kind of what you experienced, and that's what you're trying to help other people through and help them into a more fulfilled life. I think a lot of us have been through or still in the 9 to 5. I'm still working my business part-time, so I'm still trying to break out of my 9 to 5. So yeah, that's I think it's excellent. So if you guys like what she does, make sure you check out her channel. She has plenty of great content, really funny TED Talk about child's play at work. Child's play at work. She kind of grabbed me with that one. I liked it. I like the concept of child's play, right? And that's why I like these videos and having fun. I get to kind of just let loose. We get to let loose and have fun with this. So enough of the wait. Enough of the wait. This week's What If is, what if you lost it all today? I mean, lost it all. I mean, You lost your job, maybe got kicked out your home, you didn't have anything, a dime to your name. What if you lost it all? And if you want to take it even deeper, Maddie, and I'll let you answer this as you feel comfortable. Maybe you don't have to go on this level, but what if you didn't have any friends or family to help you out? What would you do? What would your next step be? So I'm going to let you, ladies first, answer this question, and then I'll dive a little bit more into what my response would be to that.
Well, you just described my life. Yeah, so what if you lost everything and you had no support, nothing? It's you have really described what's happened to me because 3.5 years ago, I lost everything. It really started with first my mom passing away in 2008, and then 9 months later, my dad had terminal cancer, stage 4, and it wasn't getting better. The doctor just kept on saying, yeah, it's going to get better, but you might have 2 months, you might have 3 months. And it was just like they were playing tennis with us, you know?
Right, right,
And when it all happened, you know, when my mom passed away, my dad passed away, I lost my job, I lost my
right.
house. Literally, just
Wow.
as it happened. And because I couldn't afford living where I was living anymore, even though we have like government support,
Okay,
it was really hard.
okay.
Um, so I've moved home probably in the last 3.5 years, probably 5 times.
Wow.
Um, and you know, I've had very minimal, if nothing, from no financial support from friends and family. Mostly from communities, mostly from people that have been following me online, but it wasn't my direct family, and I have a big family. I have
All right,
9 brothers and sisters. Um, so I didn't get a lot of emotional support from them. I think it was they were going through their own thing, but at the same time, we were in separate countries, and it was a hard thing, and it's still tough because I don't have I don't you know I live on my own, so I share with like a housemate or something, but
right,
it's mostly the people that I work with, like on a business time, that are my support, or some of my actual friends that I've had for a while, or new friends.
right,
So it's for what if. Um, I think if this kind of thing happens, it's about deciding what do you want to do with your life, which is
right,
for me, my was I didn't expect it to happen this way, and I'm expecting, I don't know, probably a lot more. Um, but I just had this gut wrenching feeling that when both my parents passed away was I want to be more than just being Matty, the person that worked for that company. I
all right,
want to write my book. I want to try and fail. I want to try all these things because I have nothing to lose and I've lost everything. You know, there's nothing worse
yeah,
that can happen to me now. You know, you could tell me I'm gonna die of cancer or anything, but I'm not scared because everything that could have happened to me has happened to me. And it was this kind of, I guess you could call it a motivation, or just that gut feeling like, okay, you know what? Forget the excuses because I ain't got no money. You know,
right,
um, no, I didn't have any money to start a website. I didn't have any savings. I think, in the first 6 months I was on social benefits, like government benefit.
Yeah.
And that's, I had nothing, but I just had this thing where, okay, now it's time to do something, because this is the moment. This is it.
Nice. Nice. I think so. I like that because it's so because I'm gonna go in a bit of different direction, but I think having that epiphany, that realization that there is one, it could get no worse, right? Right. So you might as well go for what you love. You might as well go for what excites you. You might as well go for that failure because, I mean, how can you fail worse? Right? There's no better time to take a risk
Yeah.
than when there's nothing to lose. Literally, there's nothing left to lose. And I think if people lived, I'm not saying that people should go out and make the all-out gamble, but if people live their everyday lives that way without having, to go to that rock bottom moment, there'd be a lot more growth. There'd be a lot more opportunity, a lot more happiness, and a lot more clarity in the things we do if we kind of take that approach. And so that's why I love that answer. I think it's the very, I think if I'm leaving you all with the principle, Maddie's pretty much giving you the principles is go for the thing that you're passionate about, that you love, and follow that. Take the risk, live a life that is you, right? A life that's you. For me, I'm going to go in a slightly different direction. And I'm going to be a little more specific in my answer. And I think some of you all may find this funny because you kind of gave the broader principle answer. So I'm going to give you all something a little bit different from what I may give. And I've thought about this before in the past, like years ago. I always told myself, okay, if something happened that's had nothing, what would I do in that moment in time? So a couple different answers because I have a family. I think I would be a little tougher. I'm not sure exactly what I would do then in terms of getting situated, probably reach out to a shelter. I definitely would have been using some like internet cafes, libraries to find some opportunities so as to get shelter as soon as possible. Now, if I was solo, so these folks who can afford this strategy, it's very specific for me, actually. One, I'd get a job I would get any kind of job I could at a fitness center or gym because I could shower.
Yeah.
I'd get a job or would do anything for any food service place because I could eat. So essentially, I'd have at least a place to shower, at least a place to eat. Sleeping can be worked out. I can find a place to sleep, not too worried about that. But I have a place to eat, place to sleep, and somewhere to at least make a little bit of money to put some clothes in my bag. The next step,
Yeah.
and again, I may have to like section out this video and put it something else. 'Cause somebody may love this actually. I would work with or find somebody who has a truck, and I tell you why. Because essentially, if you can have a truck, you can have your business rolling with you, right? And I would use Craigslist. I would flip furniture, used items, and then I would just use the library, the truck, feed myself, shower myself, and I'd have to take care of the basic things if I couldn't find a better paying job in that period of time. So that would be like the nitty gritty, not related to passion, just want to survive step. And then getting deeper and more broad, kind of where you're coming from, I think. I mean, you kind of hit it on the head. I don't know there's much I can add to that, other than taking some time to really look at your life as it was and figuring out, now that everything is gone, what things were really important. Because they say that we don't really appreciate or really want something until we have it and it's taken away. And so before we hop back into our old lifestyle and to kind of getting those things that we want again, I would really take some time to re-examine what it felt like before we had certain things and realize that we really need it. Right? Before you had the fancy shoes, the fancy car, fancy bag, nice brands, did you really need it? Were you happy before it? were you happy before you were taking the fancy trips? Were you happy before you had some of the vain kind of materialistic friends that you had? Was there a hobby or something that you're doing that you really, really weren't enjoying? You were just doing it just because or because someone pushed it into you. What about your life wasn't real, and what do you really want now? So I think it's kind of a twist to what you're saying, is really just evaluating and seeing what things were really a part of your life that you needed. Because I think a lot of times we add a lot to our lives. That's why we have hoarders. That's why your houses can get messy. That's why we end up having to do spring cleaning and donating things, because we get our lives full of things that we really don't need. I know I'm guilty of that. I'm not going to say I'm above that. And because I did a purge challenge here on the channel, and that was evidence enough that I had things that I needed to get rid of that really had no place anymore. And so I would look at your life and see, what things had a place, what people had a place, what you were doing that had a place, and all those things even necessary for you to go after again, and what things are really important. So that's what I got. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, Matty, but that's what I have for this week. So I challenge you all to do the same. Go ahead.
I think that both examples that you gave from myself and yourself are perfect, because as you said, it really depends on the person's situation. And I find myself trying harder when I didn't have than when I had a little bit of something,
Right.
because it's kind of, okay, there's no way this is going to fail. So looking after yourself was extremely important, because sanity. If I wasn't blogging online, and if I wasn't doing something that was a hobby, because blogging was personally a hobby, it would have, I think mentally and emotionally, I would have been at a worse place, because I have seen people who lost a lot of stuff. When you're dealing with loss, anything can be a loss. It could be a person, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, anything could be a loss. But it's about going through a period where you are mentally, emotionally, and physically at ease or balanced, and looking at everything as a totally new thing,
Right.
as you've mentioned. Like, as you said, yeah, clearing up is fantastic, but looking at other things that you can do, you'll find that I found that when I gave more of my time, work came naturally. Like, I was offered all these different paid opportunities because I was giving. And when you find that, a friend of mine said to me, when you find that you're hopeless, or that you've lost a lot of hope or energy, and you're down or you're depressed or whatever, the best way to get back at the top is to go and help someone else that's in a
Right.
worse situation. So if it's listening to that person, if it's encouraging that person, if it's actually physically going out and giving of your time, or knowing a friend who's going through a lot worse than you, and just saying, can I help? Can I come and clean your house? Can I help out? And I did a lot of helping. I did a lot of helping, and all of the helping got me my opportunities, and opened various doors that I was completely blind to when I was focused completely on that one way of doing things. So I think that way, it's a really good way of, you find that it's a really good opportunity to give more, because you will get more, not instantly, but because you're actually giving, you're actually sowing a seed. It always
Right.
comes back. Yeah.
Right. All right. I love it. I love it. That was perfect. That was perfect. I mean, somebody said you never go broke by giving or donating or helping out others, and I think that is the key thing to do. And so that was perfect. I love it. I think that's what we all do. I think we should all start doing, planting seeds. The more you help, the more you give, the more you get back. And that's your goal is to help out millennials, creatives, help them get their lives. My goal is to help people, impact the community, the world, people's lives, internally, externally. And so that is the goal, and that's how the big billionaires, millionaires, successful people, they really give. And that has been the key to create something that helps other people, adds value to other people's lives. And that is the key, y'all. That is the key. So with that knowledge that we dropped some bombs here today, and I love it. I want you to answer that what if. What if you lost everything today? Everything. The car, the money, the job, maybe family, friends. What if you lost everything? What would you do? What perspective would you have? Discuss with us below. Make sure you chat. We'll be down below chatting, interacting, having a good time as we usually do. Make sure you chat out. Make sure that you subscribe to Mathy's channel. I'll go ahead and stick a button somewhere on the screen. Don't know where, but she really is cool. Her channel is great. She's doing great things. She has some great talks up on there as well. I'll put some of her info below as well. And do you have any closing statements, Mathy, before I send this on our way?
I think we should just embrace the moment, the person that you are, and anything that comes to you, because when things get really bad, people hide, they run, they're like, I don't want to deal with this. But really and truly, if you embrace it, I mean, it could be really, if you embrace it,
right.
If you learn to write, it will give you something that you never expected.
Nice. All right, fella. All right, everybody. Y'all heard her. She said, embrace it. Embrace this video. Embrace this channel. Embrace her channel. Make sure you like, you share, and if you're new, subscribe here down below. Subscribe to her channel. And make sure, again, you embrace it. And as usual, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.
The future of work is child's play. But today, it's pancake burgers. You see, I was observing these two children, my friend's children, a 2.5-year-old and an 11-year-old. They're amazing. This 2.5-year-old comes in the living room and says, Auntie Matty, making pancake burgers. Ooh, great, lovely, yum, I love pancake burgers. The 11-year-old says, Auntie Matty, that's stupid. That doesn't even exist. Just because it doesn't exist doesn't mean it hasn't been invented. But Auntie Matty, come on, really? Look, just because you haven't heard about it, and just because it doesn't exist, doesn't mean you can't create it. So, Mommy comes in the room, very pregnant by the way. Why don't you Google it?